Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Amira of thelittlemushroomcap.com. If you are new here, welcome. Today I have a fun video, a sew with me video. If you are sewing along, that'll be really fun to actually come and sew with me. And if you like this kind of video, make sure you click like and subscribe, and let's get started. So I recommend you get some tea or coffee and grab a stitches and let's come with me. So I am going to be working with this new book that I just got from Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Prairie Home, and I'm going to use this book stand that I got from Fat Quarter Shop as well. It's a Lori Hope product, and I just love her product. She's just so thoughtful. And for this project that I'm making, I'm actually using two of the charm pack from Lori Hope as well. The pattern did call for a layer cake, but I insist on doing this with a charm pack that I got. This is from my stash, so I know I got this from one of the sew sampler box, and I thought I would just use it for this project. I didn't think much, I didn't want to think much, because otherwise it would stall me from getting started. So I just thought I would just get started. I'll figure out how to make it work later on. So that is how I am going to go about with this project. So I'm picking few colors. It's a beautiful set. I think that Lori Holt always have a good color combinations, and there's just variety of it. It's just so much fun. Picking fabric is of course one of my favorite things. Actually, just admire all the beautiful fabrics that we have. I actually like working on small projects like this, just something in between bigger quilts that I have going on. If you actually watch my previous video, I did talk about a lot of my UFOs and work in progress, and it would be kind of insane for me to actually add another project, but I did. And as you can see here, my rotary cutter was not doing it anymore. So this is a good time for me to kind of assess and then change my rotary blade, which I love to do. You'll see me later how smooth it is as compared to the first cut that I just did. Oh, just look at that. How smooth is that? I mean, like, that is just like butter. I love a new rotary cutter. It makes things so much faster. And I think most importantly, it's gentler on the hand. When I use really dull blade, what happens is that my wrist gets hurt quickly, and I think that's important as well. I do want to make sure that, you know, I don't get tired so quickly just because of the blade. Now here I'm actually showing you guys how you can opt for different type of mats to cut your little pieces. So I love this rotating mat. This is a circular one by Sue Daly. It's gotten quite a bit of use, but the thing is this one doesn't have a grid on it, so it's good for cutting things that you are going to refer more on the ruler itself, the measurements. But then sometimes I love having grids on the background as well, just to make sure that I am correctly doing it. You know, like twice measurement. Like you can do once a measurement on the ruler and then another measurement, just to make sure that on the mat itself. I know that one of the tips that I've learned before is that to use the measurement on your ruler as compared to the one in the mat, because sometimes the mat kind of like shrinks slightly or expand a little bit, so the one that is more accurate is actually from your ruler. So that's what one of the tips that I've learned before, and I kind of like stick to it. And I've noticed it is when my mats get older, it does kind of like shrink a little bit. Maybe I need to wash it a little bit just to give it a little bit of life to it back as well. So as you can see here, I'm using another mat, which is something that I got from Sew Sampler box as well. I love the Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. And this one is a Fig Tree & Co. I'll put a link down for this mat as well. I think it's very useful. It's a small mat and it's easy to turn. So even though it's not a rotating mat, but it's very easy for you to kind of like turn it because it's just so small and so lightweight. So on this very day, I did manage to cut a few more blocks or units, the smaller little charms, and then I did manage to pick some of the low volume fabric to go with it, but that was all I can do. That was all the thing that I could do that morning because I only sew in a little pockets of time, and I make use of little 15 minutes of time that I have in the morning before work or after work. And this is what I did this day, and I picked this low volume to get started with, and I'm just going to leave this for tomorrow to get started to cut this. So welcome back in the next day. So basically you can see this is me the next day, and I'm trying to cut away the low volume or the background for these blocks. I know I should have actually ironed this so that I get a better cut, but sometimes I do this. I break the laws and I kind of like just try and hope that, you know, the cuts doesn't ends up in the bends or in the folds, so that I get really nice flat pieces. Who else does this? I mean, like, if you do it too, please tell me. Alright, otherwise, you know, you shouldn't be doing it so that you get very accurate pieces. I guess that was all that I did on that day, and then on the next day, or I think in the evening, because I was wearing a pajama that day, so in the evening I was watching Lori, and then I'm just picking out fabric so that I can get to sewing. And this was a fun part of it. Like I'm doing it while I'm watching Lori, and if you're sewing too, you're actually watching me doing some sewing, you're doing some sewing, and then you're watching me doing some sewing, and I'm watching Lori in there doing some sewing. That's so much fun. So I put everything on this board. I just made this board using Lori Holt tutorial. I'll put a link down below as well. I made it from cardboard boxes, but they last so long already. It's a bit flippy, but I love it, and I can make it all different sizes. Now it's also the next day, so I didn't get time, so that's how I keep things. Like, I'm just make sure that tomorrow morning I have something to do. I put everything on a board, and the next morning, here is the next morning, I know what I want to do, right? So I have a little pocket of time, and I already know what I need to do that morning. So I need to kind of piece the things that I put on the design board, which is fun. It keeps me, you know, not overthinking too much, and it makes use of those little time very, very well, and I find that works for me. So tell me if you can sew all day, or you also sew in the little pockets of time. I would love to hear your stories too. Chain piecing has to be one of those therapeutic moments for me. Like, I just love chain piecing, and I think what I love most about quilting is that it's a process, and each step is a process, and just one step at a time. And if you really enjoy those steps in the moment, I think it's just a little precious, you know, something that you really kind of have to be grateful for. It's a moment of peace for me, and I think it's just something that I really, really treasure. Even though it's for 5 minutes in a day, I think it's my me time, and I really don't take it for granted. Because those little pockets of time actually builds up into something that I can actually create and love as well, besides giving me some me time. I love this thread cutter because it just makes it so easy. Now I'm ready for the next step, which is to trim this. Now I don't think I did this on the same day, but if I did anyway, now it was time to trim. Maybe I did. I think on that day I actually managed to trim a few. And then after that I continued on the next day. Sometimes it's just like that, and I just don't think about it too much. If I have some time, sometimes only had time in between making dinner, and I just take that time and just cut a few pieces for the blocks, and it's fine. And I am so blessed, of course, to have a sewing space to kind of do this, because then I can just leave it and then come back to it just as is, which saves so much time. But I used to sew on my dining room table as well, so I know the feeling of having to tidy up every time, but we make do with what we have, right? So if you notice, I actually sew directly on the diagonal line. So usually if I'm making half square triangles, I normally make 2 at a time, meaning I am sewing a 1/4 inch away from the diagonal line. But the pattern kind of calls for this, and I didn't want to think, and I just follow the patterns. I know I'm going to be left off with some leftover triangles these months, but I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it later. Usually just keep this for paper piecing of pineapple quilt, because then you have the white and also have the value. So I'll show you someday how to do this. So we'll keep this one. Well, welcome to my sewing room this morning. So I still have some stuff that I left yesterday, so it's still there to kind of finish. I have a couple of stuff, my basting pin, because I just basted yesterday whenever I have time. So this is basically my honest sewing room. It's mostly everywhere, but I try to come in the morning and just clean up a little bit up so that I can actually work another 5 or 10 more minutes to actually do a couple more stuff. And then here on this other side, I have like lots of stuff going on around here. I have a couple of table runners to actually finish. Those one will be patterned for it, and then I will continue on doing this Dresden quilt. So I have actually pressed this. I think a couple of days ago when I was at the pressing table, I thought I would just press a couple of blocks together with these. I pressed it at the same time. So yeah, that's how I do things around here. It is messy at times. This is very normal how it looks like, but when I get it clean, yeah, it's not much difference, but it does. I think the most messiest is like all this equipment that I use for recordings. The same goes here. We have lighting, we have all this black stuff that it's not that pretty, but it's part of like me recording, and wanted to make sure that everything is clear when I record stuff. So yesterday I was like cutting yarn here, so you see that very clear. This one is kind of an ad hoc project. I thought I would just start. So that's kind of the things that I go for these days. I feel like I need to just come in and just do whatever I feel like. If I want to start a new project, I will, and this is what happens, right? Because I do already have the kit or the things that I want to make, so I just come in here. If I feel like working on the work in progress, I will, and I don't really mind having a lot of projects at once, because I feel like they will be getting to the finish line. It's just not as soon as possible, and I don't really need it as soon. I just want to enjoy the process, so I don't mind having a lot of progress. It's just that it is a bit messier, right? You do have a lot more things. So anyway, I'm going to talk about this book a little bit. I have so many good projects in here. It's just so thick, and there's so many good projects in here. I'll just show you a couple. Like even these, they are like a set, a summer, spring, and autumn something, and they're like pretty little quilts. I'm just showing you at the back here, because there's lots of quilts at the back here.
It's gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous book. Definitely highly recommend it. And it's spiral bound, which makes it so easy for you to work on. Just don't want to flip a lot to it because I might, show the patterns inside it, which I'm not supposed to. Okay, so I guess I am going to go and get some 5-minute sewings before I start the day. I am still in my pajama. So during this time, I usually like to listen to my morning kuliah, something Islamic studies. It just reminds me of how to set the day, even though you're doing all this stuff that is kind of like worldly. So basically, it is something that is enjoyable, and we kind of serve people in a way that we give inspiration to others. We make things with our hands, feeling the blessing that God has given us. I think it's really important that we do set aside time for our creative self, especially for those who are feeling like they need this, like the creativity part of life, right? The art of making. I think it's just something that we should be grateful for, and we should use it. So it's very quiet. You can hear the creaking, which means it's still the night time. It is pretty dark outside. I like doing things like this, it's very peaceful in the morning. Okay, so I've cut everything. Now what I'm going to do, because these are from Charm Pack, and the pattern actually calls for a layer cake, so now I'm out of one piece, which I can't get from a Charm Pack because this is already 2 pieces of Charm Packs, and I should have got the third one, but I don't have it, so I'm just going to raid my stash. So I see that that's pretty good match. So what I'm going to do is cut the pieces that I need. I just need 2.5 inch square. So I am just going to, make it scrappy, whatever I have. So I need to add 2.5 inch for everything in here. So let's say for this one, I need to add 1. So I'm just going to pick from the one that I've cut. This one has some leftovers, so I'm going to put it like that. So it's not going to be like, perfectly matched, but it's okay. So if you could look at the pattern, I'm going to show you the pattern. This is what I do, right? So you will need 1 big square and 1 small square at the corner there. So that's the thing that I'm going to kind of replace with other patterns, but in the same colorway, some sort of like that. Because, I always do that. Like I know that it requires a lot more fabric than I have, but I'm just going to go ahead and just cut it anyway. So now I have to replace this. Let's say for an example, this one, I would have to just add that. That's not too bad actually. So you won't see it. Now when I put the blocks together, like so. Let's see. So you won't kind of like see the differences, as long as it's like, is it like that? No, it's not. It's like this. It's not like that, it's like this. Let's make sure that. Okay, so it's something like that. So that is actually a different fabric from this one. It should have been the same fabric, but it's okay. We do with what we can. And it's scrappy anyway, so I hope that it doesn't really matter. I'm that kind of person. I'm just like, I know it's not enough fabric, but I just cut it anyway. So that's how I make do. I am going to make the other half square triangles with this one, but I only have time to just sort this in the morning, and I'll continue back in the evening. Right guys, it's Thursday today, and I have just got this finished this morning. I sewed all the white versions. I'm going to show you. So we have this, like the one with the white and the dark pointy things, and then the one with the dark and then the white pointy angles. So the one that I've done was the stack that I did yesterday was the one with the darker background, and now I'm making the one with the lighter background. But because I didn't start like with enough fabrics, kind of like now I have not enough pieces, so I'm thinking I'm making it smaller. So we have this is quite a large table runner. It measures 76 if I'm not mistaken, and quite a wide one. So I am just thinking now I want to make it at least up to here, maybe 4 by 2 blocks. I think that would be cute enough. It suits my table as well, rather than having bigger ones and it doesn't, like, it falls over my table. So I'm gonna work with whatever I have because I started it. I don't want it to stall me. So I'm just going to continue on doing that, and we'll see. Good morning. So it's Friday. It's not yet even 6 o'clock. So I'm already here, kind of like finishing off my sahur because it's Ramadan, and I thought I would just come in here and just cut a couple of this and then finish my coffee while I do that, and then get ready for work. So let's just do that. Alright, so it's the same day. I recorded this morning. It's Friday and it's 6:28 p.m. right now. So I'm waiting for my dinner to actually cook, and I just come in here and I thought I would just cut a few ones so that I can clear my table. So that's what I'm planning, because I don't like my table to be like full of stuff at times. So I like it clear because it clears my mind, and I can start thinking about other projects as well, because I like to work on different projects at a time. So this one, I'm gonna finish this off and stack them up and put them in a place probably around my sewing room so that I can get to piece the block. But I am itching to actually start a few other stuff as well. Not to start other stuff, but to work on the stuff that I have. I have a jelly roll quilt that I need to be quilted, and I need that to be done because I want to share the videos. So that is going to be done soon. So it's 6:29. I am going to cut for a while, and hopefully I'll get back to my dinner because it needs to get done by 7 o'clock. It's going to be done, right? So it's on the stove right now, boiling, waiting for the chicken to actually cook. So I mean, I am blessed to actually have a sewing space to kind of like leave things. I think that's one of the things. We have it. It does make a lot of difference in terms of your productivity. So be thankful if you do have a sewing space, but even if you don't, have to tidy things up. I used to actually have to tidy things up every time, but kind of find an organization that you like put it in a, like whenever you're done with things, and put it in a box that you can just close and open it back when you need it. We'll make do with what we have, and we'll be thankful for the times that we have sewing actually. this is a blessing. So I think I can get this done before everything, so I'm trying to be quick here. Just when you're trying to be quick, then it becomes slow. No, I'm going to show you what I will do with those triangles in the next video. Hopefully, in the coming video. Because I love those little triangles. They make the perfect corner for paper piecing. So I'll show you what I do with that. And we have the last one, and then we're ready. I'm going to show you why I actually sew this thing. I don't know whether you can see it. Like, I actually sew it just slightly off the center, and then I'm going to trim this part off because it's smaller, and we're going to have the bigger part. It's like, it's not exactly in the center, just to give it like a good 2.5 inch, because if you put it exactly there, when you open it, it's slightly smaller. So that's why I like to, I think that's what we call the 1/4 inch, or the, what is it called? It's called the...
It's called 1/4 inch seam.
Okay, that's that. So there you go, it's 6:34 and I'm going back to my kitchen, and we'll see you again. I'm going to tidy up this one. It's clear already. We're getting ready for this to actually sew it together into blocks. And there, so that's how I actually keep everything clean. Like, I love this board. It just keeps everything so easy for me to kind of move it around, so I can move it to my table or keep it. And I'm just going to clear everything out. I'm gonna clear the, all this extra bits, things that should be here. So I'm going to clear those out and have a clean table by tomorrow morning. So we'll see you tomorrow morning or tonight. Maybe I can have some time tonight as well to actually do some sewing. So I had dinner and I had time to shake up a little bit. So my table is kind of clean now. I'm left with this, which I'm supposed to try already. But I feel so bad doing this away. Why is it so hard? I feel like, I just want to kind of make a mixed media art or something with this. It's just so plain with like the leftovers. But I know it will take my time to do this, and it will take my space as well. So I'm going to have to let go and part with this. Now these are actually the leftover from the triangles that I made. I am going to use this in a future project. I will show you what I do with this, because this is a good piece of triangles, which is printed primer and also low volume primer, which is very useful for the pattern that I'm going to be using. And I'm not going to sew them into a half square triangle because they're probably a bit too small for me to work with. It comes out to probably 1.5 inch, so I'm not going to do that, but I am going to use it for paper piecing pattern. Whereas this one is going to go. I don't know about you, but it's very hard for me to part ways with things like this. I mean, I don't have the time to actually, work with it, but I just love the access of this, So I have to go ahead and part ways with this. It's going in the bin, or probably my plastic that I keep, like the little fabric. Sometimes I put it in for as fillings, so this can go in that bin. It's a following week already. It's Monday. It's Tuesday actually. So today I think it will be the last day for me to record this for the week. I have already gotten all the blocks ready over the weekend. Of course, over the weekend I did have a lot more time. So here I am. So it's 6:30 right now in the morning, and I thought I would just press a little bit off the blocks before I get ready for work. So that's what I'm gonna do today. At least get these pressed, and I can't wait to actually just sew them into blocks later in the afternoon. So let's try and do that. Might not get to all of it because I need to get ready for work, but I'll take what I have, all the time that I have. So I'm just pressing these. I am actually in need of a larger wool mat, and I need to rearrange my sewing room as well. Maybe that's going to be the next weekend project. I'll record if I have time. Okay, so I'm not sure about this. Like, I feel like that's a bit off. I should have actually picked something from my scraps, because I'm not sure whether I told in this video, but I did tell on Instagram. So what happened with this is that the pattern actually calls for a layer cake, and I wanted to do with a charm pack. So I have 2 charm packs, and basically a 2 charm pack would be enough for this 4 and this block right here, and it wasn't enough for this piece, so I had to actually substitute it with another fabric. But now I'm thinking I should have gone with something that matches a bit more, like this one I picked from my scraps, which matches a little bit more. I mean, like, I don't mind the scrappiness, but I do want it to actually match, at least not too obvious, so I might leave that one out if I have some spares, because I did make a little bit more blocks than I needed. Well, that's me. I'm gonna press away. I guess I'll see you again next week. So thank you for coming along with me. I mean, like, I'm not showing my face a lot because I'm not in that get ready space, but I'll definitely try. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. If you love this kind of video, please comment away as well. I would love to know what you're up to. Till next time, bye bye.